A legal victory for the Washington State Attorney General tonight over the U.S. Department of Justice after the feds tried to strike down a law aimed at helping sick Hanford workers. A 2-year investigation by the King 5 investigators led to passage of the law last year. It gives Hanford workers who get sick from toxins on the job a leg up in getting workers' compensation benefits. The King 5 investigation found Hanford's workers' comp system was plagued with problems and unfairly denied sick workers the benefits they deserve. In December, the Department of Justice filed a lawsuit to force the state to repeal the law, saying it was not fair to the federal government, which owns Hanford. Today, a federal judge rejected that argument and ruled the law will stay in place.